outside. And why'd you go over and stretch him out? Is that something you normally do?
Well, he was like, dunk my calves. I was like, I got you. I knew what was going on, so I just started stretching his calves out because I've had calf cramps too, and they suck. And the trainers were coming over, and they had a little bit. It's a long run out there. So I was like, I'll just stretch him out real quick.
I saw you got out of the way nice and quick though once I got close.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was also a nice little break for me because I'm fat. So if I'm stretching him out, I get a little break, you know, a little injury timeout. So.
I know you already talked about Xavier Williams, but just overall, just the run game as a whole versus Albany, how motivating is that for going into Iowa State next week?
Sure, I mean, you know, for everything we did right, there's two things we did wrong. So there's still a lot of things to work on, and, you know, even the big run plays that we had, maybe someone messed up, you know, on the backside or the front side, they missed an aiming point or something. So even though, let's say we rushed really well, it's still not perfect. So there's a lot of things we still need to work on.
Did you see the moment where Kamari Mullen kind of got hurt? Because I feel like for me personally, it almost went up. Just he was there, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. Did you see the moment where he got hurt?
I honestly didn't even, I don't even know what happened to him. I should probably figure that out, but I figured he'd be all right.
Do you have any idea which running backs in the huddle? Do you pay attention to that? Do you care about that?
No, I usually just stare right at the quarterback's eyes or his mouth because sometimes I can't hear very well, so I just stare right at him.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got a bunch of good running backs, so I guess to you guys it doesn't matter, right?
No, I just stare right at the quarterback. That's what I've always done.
You've got 8 quarters of film to stare at from Iowa State. They've only got 4 on you. Have you just seen an advantage of just having more film to study, especially, you know, getting into September? You know, you're not going to know a lot about any team you go up against.
Sure.
Just having any extra advantages that help so far.
It's actually a good question. I don't know. I mean, they still are running, you know, the same defense. It's nice to see, you know, how they play against different schemes and stuff from the two different teams. But I mean, they play really well against both teams. Obviously, they won both games and they do a good job. So.
Yeah, it is a unique front they run. I mean, just, you know, when you're going up against somebody who's running things like that, especially on defense, that you're not going to get with every other team. How important is that film prep, that study, that attention to detail? Not that it's not important every.
Yeah, no, I mean it's important, but for as complicated as it seems, you know, I mean it's not rocket science. I mean, it's complicated, but you know, it's not like I'm doing organic chemistry. So, yeah.
Were you guys happy with how you run blocked the other day?
Yeah, I mean, we did some stuff well and some stuff, you know, we want back. There's some plays I want back. I'm sure there's plays that everybody wants back. So just working on those things in practice, what we were doing this morning, and just getting ready to rock.
What have you seen from Xavier Williams throughout last year and even throughout camp this year that kind of stood out to you?
First thing, like physically, his legs. I mean, they're giant. I mean, they're like tree trunks. And then the second thing is just he's been working hard since the day he came in here. So I'm really happy for him to get the opportunity and then take advantage of it. I mean, he's fast too. I mean, he's like a little, I don't even know, a little rolling ball, a little wrecking ball. So, but yeah, he's fun to watch. I'm happy for him.
How did Pieper play? You know, right next to you. Do you pay attention to that? I know you're trying to bring him along. How did you feel like he did the other day?
I watch everything he does. You know, we room together in camp, and we room together the night before the game, and we hang out after the games too, so I got a close eye on him. I thought he played really well and did a lot of things well. We communicated pretty well. Yeah, I don't think he didn't really have any egregious mistakes at all. He did a really good job.
Did you sit down with him sometime after the game throughout the past couple of days and just watch film with him, kind of guide him through?
Yeah, on Sunday. Yep. And then obviously we hang out after the game together, and then we're basically together every day actually. All the O-line is so.
How was the first start? How do you feel about how you performed?
I feel like I did pretty good. Got a lot to work on, obviously, still, but for being the first time out there, I'm pretty happy with my performance, yeah.
What are some of those things that you feel like you need to work on based on, you know, watching film?
Yeah, a couple things in the run and pass, just my posture in the pass, setting together with my guys, and then in the run, just first step pretty much, and just attacking guys. I feel like I was kind of hesitant sometimes, and so, yeah, those are the two main things I'd say.
How was that?
I was just going to say, did you feel like you had to maybe bust off some rust? You haven't, played fully in a super competitive game since high school, I take it. I mean, I know you know scrimmages and stuff like that. But
yeah, I definitely think it took me a drive or two to just kind of get my feet under myself, you know, get the jitters out of the way first time starting and stuff like that. But after the first drive, I kind of felt like myself again, back to my old ways and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Did it help a lot? I mean, that first play, Kamari goes to your side and, you know, picks up a big chunk. Did that help knock the rust off a little faster?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like success right away.
Yeah, with the first play being a first down like that and me getting out and pulling, it was definitely, you know, I feel like you can't be slow after that. You know, that kind of got me going. So, yeah, it was a good first play.
Yeah. How was the camp battle with Jack, and does that battle continue in practices now? Or?
It went good. I feel like it'll still continue, yeah. He's a really good player, so, and we pushed each other all camp, and I feel like it's going to continue throughout the season. So, yeah, it's definitely good to have him right there next to me and just keep making each other better.
As a unit, how do you feel like you guys can improve heading into week 2?
Yeah, I feel like we have a lot to improve on, and that'll be the case every week. A little bit in the run, a little bit in the pass. Just being out there as a unit for the first time, there's going to be some bumps. And I feel like as each week goes on, we'll continue to just keep stacking and keep getting better.
As far as timing-wise, do you think that went pretty smoothly week 1?
I think so. As a line, I feel like as a line we were pretty stepping well together for it being week 1. And as the weeks continue, you'll see us just playing together more and more. So, yeah, that's the goal for sure.
I think it was second play of the game. You got a good lick in. It felt like that kind of set the tone all day Saturday. A really physical performance by you guys. Just what do you see on film?
Yeah, we try to come out, obviously the first series, try to set the tone for the rest of the game. I think we had a good first series. I think it might have been 3 and out. Yeah, you just try to set the tone like that every week.
Sure. First game, really playing cash that much. It feels like a really fun position, whether you're a safety or a DB moving in there. Just how did you think you did in your first day out there?
Yeah, I think there's obviously mistakes that are correctable every single game for every single person. I think we played great as a defense. There's a lot of things to improve on. We're just trying to work to improve every single week. And I think we can make a big stride coming into the second week.
You got 8 quarters of film on Iowa State compared to the 4 they have from you. How much does that help in prep? Coming off a night game, going there for an 11 a.m. kick, just those few hours less that you have to prep this week, you've got more tape to look at. How much does that?
Yeah, I think it helps a lot, especially they played Kansas State the first week, and that was a tough battle. They had to show some things on film, maybe that they want to run versus us. Obviously, we've played them for however many years now, so we got all that tape to watch, and that can be very valuable for us as well.
What stands out about Rocco Becht and just kind of his style? It just seemed like he was on a good trajectory last year, but it just seemed like he's really established himself as probably one of the premier quarterbacks in the conference.
Yeah, he's definitely a winner. I think last game he went 19 of 20 passing. He's fast quarterback, can get out of the pocket, has a lot of knowledge. He likes to get the ball out quick, and he's just very decisive in his throws as well.
Got 2 really good tight ends. What challenges do they pose for y'all?
Yeah, they have 4 good tight ends as well. They pose a lot of challenges. They'll sometimes bring them in and pound the rock, or they'll suck you in with the play action and try to throw it deep over your head. So everyone's just got to be honed in on the details and really focus on their job.
It seems like they spread them out a lot too, as opposed to having them on the line. How unique is that to have tight ends who really play out on the boundaries a lot like that?
Yeah, obviously, when they put them out on the edge, they must trust them running routes. They want to get the ball to them. I think they were their leading targets last game, so they're really trying to get the ball to their tight ends.
Does it help
What's this game, this rivalry mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. Growing up in Iowa, I always was watching the Iowa State-Iowa game. Big rivalry. Means a lot for the fans as well, both sides. You know, even if you're not a fan of either team, you're probably watching the game.
Does it help at all that
stopping Rocco back?
Yeah, I would say the key is just everyone honed in on the details, trying to get pressure in his face, not letting him throw his quick, decisive throws that he wants to throw.
Rock Rapids, was going to Iowa State ever in the question for you?
I don't know. You know, growing up as a kid, you dream of playing in games like this, and now I get to go out and do it.
Walk me through the punt return, letting it go, getting it back, and then going for 47. I mean, that's a hell of a first way to get a touch at Iowa.
Yeah, I just saw it in the air. I was like, he wasn't punting like, crazy the whole game. I didn't expect him to do that. And he punted over my head, and I saw it dribbling. I'm like, I look back. I'm like, I got to take this to the crib. Like, you feel me? I got to try to take it to the house.
Just hearing a 70,000 strong go wild for you, and you had a long touchdown, I think it was at Georgia State last year. You make a crowd go quiet, it's one thing. When you get 70,000 going for you, just what was that moment like? Can you even hear them as you're running down the side?
I can hear them a little bit, yeah. I'm more focused on like what's in front of me, but I can hear it a little bit. My adrenaline's going, so I can hear it. Yeah.
What were those first snaps like in black and gold, running routes and just, playing after an off season to getting used to everything here?
It was amazing just having, Iowa City behind me. Like, it feels good to play in the stadium, like you said, like, where you're not going against the opponent, like, you with the stadium and everybody's cheering for you and you're not going against them. So.
Yeah. What did you guys see on film? I know there's some throws that he'd like back, but it doesn't seem like it's that far off from clicking on a couple more.
Yeah, no, we're just, working on it in practice. Things happen. We're going to do better this week, so.
Yeah, all that is pretty exciting, but I don't really think about that too much. I try and just go out there, execute the game plan, play the game, and all that other stuff is nice, but at the end of the day, you just got to go out there and get the dub. So.
I know you're not the one making the calls. Mark's going to be doing most of the screaming, but have you heard about the noise? Have you heard about how tough it can get in really any road environment, but especially one in Ames?
Yeah, no, we definitely have, but I think we'll be ready. We have some things in place that'll help us deal with that, so I think we'll be okay.
Like what?
Just some practicing with some noise in the background, really. I think it's the biggest thing, but there's a veteran group out there, so they all handle it pretty well, so I plan to just hop in there and do what they do to handle it.
I know you're not the one, making the calls, but you would think conventional wisdom says you got to establish the run game in the early downs to make things easier for Mark. How important do you think that will be in the early downs and early on in the game?
Yeah, I think the run game's super important, but I'm not really sure how Coach Lester will call it, so I'm just going to go out there and execute when my number's called, but hopefully we do get the run game going. That would be nice for the offense.
How much has it helped so far? You've got 8 quarters of film on Iowa State compared to they got 4 on you guys. Have you seen just having a little more to work with in preparation so far?
Yeah, no, it definitely is nice. More reps, more games, get to see tendencies and things like that. So it definitely is nice being able to see a couple games rather than them only seeing one of ours.
Yeah, it's a unique defensive scheme I know they have over there. What have you seen that they present that makes them as good as they are on defense?
Yeah, really just all the different fronts and like their backers and safeties. It really is just a totally different look than what I've seen before. So got to study more tape and just be ready on Saturday.
How much is that such an aspect of it? You talk about the environment and a rivalry game and all that. Just the fact that it is such a different scheme and a unique scheme than what folks run in the Big Ten and things like that. Just how important is that film study and just making sure you're doing the right things schematically on Saturday?
Yeah, no, it is super important, but at the end of the day, we still got to go out there and execute. So got to watch the film for sure, but that only gets you so far, so we got to get out there and play the game also. But the film is definitely a huge plus. Definitely need to do more of that.